Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. This is episode 418 for those who are keeping track, and wanted to thank you for tuning into the program, whether you're doing so on your favorite local talk radio station or in podcast form. Tech It Out welcomes Norton as a new partner on this program, along with Visa. Both companies, in fact, committed to protecting you from fraud in different ways. But we're going to get to that in due time. Let me tell you what's on tap for today, because we have three great guests lined up for you. We're going to start off chatting with Asurion. They're the folks behind uBreakiFix, those stores that repair your devices. After that, a claw machine for your home. Yep, you don't have to go to your local fair anymore, carnivals. You can enjoy this with your friends and family in your home. And finally, we're going to learn about an e-stroller for new or expectant parents who want some help pushing their baby around town. This is pretty wild stuff. So some very cool innovations on this week's Tech It Out. All right, let's officially kick things off with our first interview. When it comes to consumer electronics, you may have heard the trend towards repairability, or the right to repair, as it's often referred to, letting users fix rather than replace their own tech, often with a third-party professional service helping out. And Google recently held an event at its flagship Chelsea, New York location, along with uBreakiFix by Asurion and iFixit, which offers free repair guides for virtually everything. Joining us to discuss this trend of repairability, we're joined on the line by Tripp Grant. He's Senior Director of Partnerships at uBreakiFix. Welcome to the show, Tripp. Good to chat with you.
Yeah, hey, good afternoon.
Before we talk about repairability, tell us a bit about Asurion, which is the company that owns uBreakiFix stores.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Asurion, it's a global tech care company, big company. They're best known for cell phone protection plans, but they actually partner with all kinds of companies to provide tech care services really across full life cycle for a device, from setup and onboarding, everything from troubleshooting to trade-in. They have all sorts of programs, but several years ago, they acquired uBreakiFix. And uBreakiFix is kind of retail repair arm of Asurion, a network of nearly 700 tech repair stores across the U.S. And we like to say we could fix anything with a power button. A lot of people associate us with mobility repair, but it's really more to it than that. We fix a ton of phones. We fix computers, tablets, game consoles, but we get all kinds of devices. Everything from like light up Santa Clauses to anything. I actually got a Walkman fixed at a uBreakiFix.
So, wow, Sony Walkman.
That's correct.
That's great.
Classic. But today we've repaired over 24 million devices, and we still repair about 3.25 million a year. So yeah, it's very robust, repair-focused business.
Wow. So, yeah, congrats. That's really impressive. And I've had your CEO of uBreakiFix on the show before, Dave Barbuto, to chat about the company. And it's really impressive how much you've grown. All right, Tripp. So Google recently hosted an event about repairability. What is this trend here that they're addressing?
Yeah, repairability is really important, really across particularly the mobile device industry. And it is a trend, but it's something that I would say has really been developing over the last several years since smartphones obviously became mainstream. When it was first go to market, it was really about launching devices that had really robust capabilities, right? That's what would drive, user experience, user satisfaction, things of that nature. But over time, what OEMs like such as Google have come to learn is that a big part of consumers' experience with the device is the sustainability of that device and how long that device will last. Repairing for durability is, first and foremost, because you don't want the device to break. But accidents happen, things can occur. And when a device breaks, a user really wants to feel confident that they can do something about that. That this is an expensive device, and obviously it's become more and more expensive over time.
You would think these big companies like Google and Apple, and not to pick on just them, but they want you to just buy a new device, right? I mean, there's this whole, conspiracy about quote unquote planned obsolescence, where your phone or other devices just doesn't work as well as it used to. We should have the right to be able to repair it. It's also good for the environment. Let's consider that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, it is true that there's definitely objectives in terms of selling devices, but at the end of the day, a customer whose device breaks down and earlier than they anticipated may not buy the same device for their next device. And so having that durability and repairability is really an important aspect. And again, Google obviously hosted an event about this, but it's really universal across other OEMs. They've all made improvements on these, on the repairability, this factor. And we've seen that really. And really with each new product that they introduce, first version of a device may have more challenges when it comes to repairability, but as they come out with new versions, they've really addressed certain problems along the way.
And just to bring everyone up to speed, OEM is original equipment manufacturer. So it just means brands like Google or Samsung.
That's correct.
Apple,
yes.
Right? Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah. So this isn't just for folks at home to take a stab at it, right? Like a DIY approach where we're there with a little screwdriver and we're trying to replace or, a screen or something. But again, this is where uBreakiFix comes in, right? We want to be able to bring it to a third party and have someone fix it even while we wait in some instances.
That's correct. Yeah. I think that right to repair has a lot to do with enabling the end users themselves to repair their devices themselves if they so wish. But just like your car, I'm able to change my own oil on my car. I know how to do that, but it's tedious. And, sometimes I don't have full confidence when I put it all back together that it's going to be on as tight as it needs to be. And so I like professionals to do that. Mobile devices are even more so in that way. In the sense that there's a higher level of comfort in getting a professional to take care of that and bring, all their expertise into that repair, and really getting it up and running to its peak ability. So that's to me where uBreakiFix or a repair company is going to bring a higher peace of mind and greater level of success to a degree on the repair.
Is it less expensive generally to bring it to a store like a uBreakiFix in a strip plaza or in a mall than going directly to Apple, Samsung, and the like? It'd probably be faster.
When it comes to cost, I mean, it can be less expensive, but it may not be, transparently.
Okay.
That being said, sometimes you get what you pay for, right? And so the level of professionalism and experience that you can get from a professional repair shop will often exceed that you can get elsewhere. Yeah. Also, when it comes to uBreakiFix specifically, we're committed to using almost entirely OEM original parts. So parts originate from the manufacturer themselves, right?
Got it.
So you come to a uBreakiFix store to get a Google Pixel repaired, we're going to be using a Google Pixel part. Same is true for across multiple manufacturers that we have, contractual relationships and commitments to doing so.
Yeah. Great.
So that I think brings a high level of confidence as well. It'll be a high quality part, high quality repair using OEM tools, software, testing, all that type of stuff that we have available to us in the stores.
And there's a warranty or a guarantee after the work's done?
Yeah, it's almost all work that we do, almost all the repairs that we do have a 1-year warranty after that. So any recurring issues that should have been taken care of in the repair can be repaired under that warranty.
We are chatting with Tripp Grant, Senior Director of Partnerships at uBreakiFix by Asurion, or I like how you say it better, Asurion. Is that right? How do you say it?
I don't know.
I like it better the way I've been saying it.
Maybe that I say it wrong, but I don't know if I do or not, to be honest. I've worked here for almost 10 years, but...
It's their name on your paycheck, so whatever you're doing it right. But I thought it was Asurion, but Asurion. It sounds more high-tech the way you say it. Before we wrap up, Tripp, is Google's push for repairability a big deal?
I think that Google is really doing great work to continue to progress this, again, across an industry that is already focused on it. It's about raising the bar, right? It's about continuing to look at what makes a person more confident when they open up this device that they are going to complete what they set out to do, right? So for Google, they're putting a lot of focus on reducing the adhesives that are used, or reducing the variety of screws that are used. All these different types of things, they go a long way. Again, just in giving confidence to the person performing the repair, whether it's somebody doing it at home or a professional that's done the same repair 20 times before that. It's really important that when you design the product, it's not just about designing it for functionality, it's about designing it for repair, knowing that repair is probable at some point in the life cycle of that device. So yeah, it's really good work that they're doing. The watch that they've just recently launched is a great example of that, having no adhesives involved. And I think that's a bit of a snapshot into the future of progress that we've already made and yet more progress that will be made for mobile devices across the board.
Great. And then finally, where can we learn more about uBreakiFix by Asurion?
You can get more information about uBreakiFix's services and store locations, different partnerships that we have, things of that nature at uBreakiFix.com. If you're interested in following the repairability journey and how we play a role in that, on our website, you can click over to our newsroom, and that's where we'll share a lot of details about any events like the one that we did with Google last week. All that information is there. So it's a great resource. And again, we're really proud about the role that we play in this industry, and there's more information available there.
Great. Thanks, Tripp. So that's uBreakiFix. That's the letter U, break, and then the letter I, F-I-X. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much.
When we return on Tech It Out, a claw machine for your home. Yep, not in an arcade, not at your local fair or carnival. We're going to hear what's new from Arcade1Up, the company, when we return on Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Before we learn about a claw machine for your home, I wanted to spend a moment talking about Norton 360 with LifeLock, your comprehensive solution that bundles device security and identity theft protection. Tech It Out has proudly partnered with Norton as they protect your PC, Mac, and mobile devices from viruses, ransomware, and malware. And LifeLock takes it a step further, constantly monitoring for the fraudulent use of your personal info, whether it's your social insurance number or bank accounts. If a threat is detected, you receive an alert. If the worst happens and your identity is stolen, a dedicated US-based identity restoration specialist will be there to personally help fix it. Plus, with the $1 Million Protection Package, you get coverage for stolen funds and expenses. Norton 360 with LifeLock gives you the power to defend your entire digital life. Stop patching together protection. Get all-in-one peace of mind with Norton 360 with LifeLock. Visit norton.com today. Hey, if you like claw machines, you know, the ones you'd find at a carnival or a Chuck E. Cheese, and in movies like Toy Story,
Claw is our master.
Then you're going to love what Arcade1Up has just released for the home. Yep, a claw machine to test your skill in picking up prizes using those little levers and such. Joining us on the line to grab our attention is Arcade1Up's Cyrus Rosenberg. He's Senior Vice President of Licensing and Business Development. Welcome to the show, Cyrus. Good to chat with you.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
Hope you didn't mind the bad dad pun off the top about grabbing our attention. But yes, before we talk about the Arcade1Up claw machine, tell us a bit about the company. I guess Arcade1Up is best known for your arcade machines that many a man cave and she shed has, no doubt, and digital pinball as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, glad to. And we got to find a term that encompasses the whole family, but I love man cave and she shed. Back in 2018, Arcade1Up was founded based on the idea of a white space, of coming from a toy background. We have so many people employed at our company who are just true fans of pop culture, fans of family entertainment, and fans of the IP that we work with. And through that fandom, we kind of made an interesting discovery, which is there is a plethora, there is a mountain of top quality, amazing video game experiences that do not exist on their original hardware. Coupled with the fact that given the time that has gone by since the original arcade boom, there are so many technological enhancements that the right company could make if given the time. And we really set out on that mission to create the best, most authentic version of these classic arcade games for at-home consumer use. Through that, we kind of went on a little adventure of our own, constantly improving our products by adding features like Wi-Fi, multiple games per unit, allowing them to be assembled so they can be flat packed, and all sorts of other great enhancements. But what was really exciting for us is that the original item became kind of the line, which became ultimately a category. And we as fans ourselves saw this brand grow. And we saw lots of different people build out their at-home game rooms using our products, which allowed us the creative freedom to kind of expand. And that's where you get these additional products like what comes after arcade machines. We should make a pinball unit. What would people put on the wall? Maybe an at-home photo booth, which we launched last year. And of course, the item we're talking about today, which is our at-home claw machine, and personally one of my favorite items, honestly.
All right, so without further ado, let's get to that. As the name suggests, it looks like and operates like a claw machine that you would find at a carnival. Is that fair?
Yes, absolutely. And like all of our machines, authenticity is kind of the foundation of how we build out our products. So it does have all of the kind of features one would expect with a claw machine, such as different difficulty settings, but also what I'm most excited about, which is a real commercial grade claw inside of there. So it is grabbing to the efficacy of other claw machines you might find in a commercial arcade, but of course made for at-home use for you and the family.
All right, so for those who haven't played with one of these things before, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's usually two levers. There's one that moves the claw left and right and forward and back. There's usually a glass cabinet that has the prizes inside, whether it's stuffed animals or candy inside of a ball or something like that. And then the other lever, or it's a button that you press for the claw to then descend down into the mountain of stuff. And your goal is to try to pick it up without it slipping, and then you get to keep it. It falls into a little receptacle, and then you can take it out the front. Is yours pretty much the same idea at its core?
Absolutely. I honestly don't think I could have said it better myself. This is actually a fully featured, authentic claw machine experience, just simply designed for at-home use. So yes, it has a fully featured control deck in which you are in control of the claw and the actual drop, with the ultimate goal being to win a prize from our machine. But what makes this so great for at-home use is that our machine is refillable at the consumer level. So we actually include 12 capsules alongside that are perfectly fitted for the claw to be able to pick up depending on your challenge mode. So you can fill it with all walks of different prizes that you yourself thought of or that are readily available. So it really is a customizable consumer version.
All right, now I'm going to ask you more about the difficulty settings in a moment and a few other features that I know our audience is going to want to learn about. We are chatting about the Arcade 1-Up claw machine that you can put in your home, great for birthday parties or when you're having some friends over, a sports game, loaded up with some snacks or some fun branded merch as the grand prize to your favorite team. There's so much you can do with it. I love the idea. Arcade 1-Up, of course, is best known for replicating those classic 80s and 90s arcade games and even pinball machines for the home. So we are going to continue chatting in a moment with Arcade 1-Up to learn more about the claw machine. If you want to reach out on social media to say hi, it's Mark Saltzman, Mark with the C, Saltzman with the Z. You can find me on all the major platforms. Let me know what you think of Tech It Out. And if you have any tech questions, more Tech It Out coming right up after this short break.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We're chatting with Cyrus Rosenberg. He's SVP of Licensing and Business Development at Arcade 1-Up. This is a company best known for its 3/4 sized arcade units from Ms. Pac-Man to Golden Tee Golf. They also have a digital pinball solution where you can swap between different boards digitally. There's also a games table called Infinity that has digital versions of classic board games. But now the company has released the Arcade 1-Up claw machine, just like the one that you'd find at your local fair in your city, a carnival, or at a Chuck E. Cheese, but it's in your own home. And we're learning all about it. All right, now I'm going to ask you more about the difficulty settings in a moment. So you're responsible for filling it up. Again, I mentioned stuffed animals earlier, but you can put whatever you want inside of those things. So if you've got a kid's birthday party that's a particular theme, then as a parent, you can fill it up and have the kids play and collect something that's relevant to the day. Or if it's Christmas, you may have, some stocking stuffers in there. Does it have to fit in the capsules that you provide, those little plastic balls, if you will? Or can you pick up a stuffy if you don't want to use those balls?
Absolutely. So I can explain that a little bit more. So we actually do a lot of product testing, which I say testing, but it really means us in the office love to play these products. But it picks up all sorts of different items. In our office alone, we filled it with different kind of trinkets, action figures. We even put a mini skateboard in there at one point. The capsules are designed to be, if you will, kind of an adapter. I can guarantee the claw will pick it up if you put it in a capsule, but we are very pro experimentation at Arcade 1-Up, and we love seeing fans come up with the items that we haven't even ourselves thought of. So we wanted to leave that open possibility. So there's lots of different items that can be picked up with the claw.
You mentioned difficulty settings. I think the pain point for many people who have ever tried to use a claw machine is that the claw itself is very loose, and you think you've grabbed that object that you want, you're hoisting it up, and you think it's yours, and then it falls through. So is that something that you can tweak?
Absolutely. And let me give you a little industry reveal here, if I can
Let's
little bit.
get this scoop. Yeah.
But of course, the very first thing when we come up with any product line is really authenticity. And there's a certain level of responsibility with our products because they're so nostalgia based. They are based on a memory someone might have. So with that requires a lot of research before even beginning development. And in researching how the commercial claw machine industry actually works is it's actually a system of odds. So what a difficulty setting is representative of in the commercial level is the odds that the claw will actually pick up the item. And let's say maybe 1 out of 300 times, 1 out of 500 times, the actual claw operator sets those odds behind the scenes. However, we wanted to make sure our claw machine was consumer friendly and fun for the whole family. So while it is a system of odds, we have easy mode, normal mode, and scam mode. And while I'm not going to reveal exactly the odds those represent, I'm very excited for our consumers to kind of play around with it and figure it out. But yeah, we wanted to make it adjustable because, again, it's a family product. And, family takes many different shapes and forms, but we wanted a young person to be able to experience it and have as much fun as somebody in retirement and everything in between.
Love it. And tell us a bit more about the way it looks and sounds. Does it have like a light up marquee? Are there any sound effects?
Absolutely. So there are lights actually on the control deck as well as the marquee itself. And there's very different tunes and songs and sound effects to really enhance the experience as well as adjustable volume. So if you are throwing a claw machine party in which this is meant to be your centerpiece, it has all of the effects to draw a crowd in. If this is something to distract someone in the household or something that you might want a little quieter, we've of course accommodated that. So again, customization is very important to us because while we are basing these machines, whether it be claw or arcade machine, on an original idea, we want to adapt these to the needs of the modern consumer.
Great. And I know you offer volume control and all that on your arcade machines too, which is very handy, something that you did not find in the 80s with the coin-op arcade machines. The Galaga that you played could not change the volume. All right. And then finally, who would you say this is for exactly? I mean, I love the versatility of you being in control of difficulty and the prizes and all that. Is it for kids? Can you put adult toys in there if it's like a bachelorette party? Tell us who you think the target audience is.
We design our products for what we call families, but what we mean by that is we design it for all age groups. And you can really see that by the consumers who have already taken to the internet to kind of praise this claw machine of, we really believe in bringing in-person entertainment together. So we definitely want kids to be able to play it. but all age groups can have fun with the claw machine due to the customizable features. I've seen college kids buy and enjoy our claw machine. I have also seen kids under preschool have the best time with it, and kind of everything in between. I actually just got my parents one, and they love it as well. So, we really intend for everybody to kind of find a meeting point with our products.
Awesome. And then with that in mind, how much does the Arcade 1-Up claw machine cost? Where can we buy it? I don't know if you have retail support or if it's through your website. And is there a place where we can learn more?
Absolutely. So the claw machine is $4.99, and the best place for up-to-date product information would be arcade1up.com.
All right, arcade1up.com. The one is number one. Cyrus, great to chat with you. Congrats on the launch of the claw machine. I can't wait to try it out myself. Thanks again.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
I mentioned earlier that Norton is a new partner on Tech It Out, and they joined Visa, a long-term partner on this program as well. We cover cybersecurity a lot on this program and how you can best protect yourself in the digital age, even if you're not super tech savvy. One part of the solution is securely shopping online. And so I'm thrilled about my partnership with Visa on Tech It Out, as they've made some significant investments in fraud prevention over the past 5 years, as much as $10 billion. Yes, that's billion with a B, to support Visa's brand promise to protect the financial information of individuals and businesses. Zero liability means peace of mind when you shop online using your Visa card. There can be no half measures when it comes to cybersecurity, which is why the company takes an aggressive and multi-layered approach to combating the rising threat of malicious software and other threats by well-funded and global criminal enterprises. Read more about Visa and how securing the world's payments is priority one at visa.com/security. That's visa.com/security. When we return on Tech It Out, we're going to talk with a company called CYBEX to learn about its electric stroller. Yep, for babies and small toddlers. It's called the Gazelle family of e-strollers or electric strollers. Boy, have times changed. My twins are now 23 and my youngest is 21. So we did not have anything like this, to say the least. So yes, the CYBEX Gazelle S stroller. We're going to learn all about this new product line when we return on Tech It Out after this short break. Stay with us.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out. Fun fact, baby strollers have been around since the 1700s, when William Kent, a landscape architect, designed a shell-shaped basket on wheels. But the carriage was initially designed to be pulled by ponies or dogs or even goats and not pushed. The prams that you push came in the mid-19th century. Okay, so fast forward to the 2000s, and hey, now we have electric strollers, e-strollers. And we're now going to hear about one with Jon McGuire. He's VP of Product Management for CYBEX North America. These are the folks behind the e-Gazelle S, as it's called, which I just saw for the first time yesterday. Welcome to the show, Jon. Good to chat with you.
Thank you.
Why don't we jump right in? Tell us, please, about the e-Gazelle S stroller.
Sure. So the e-Gazelle S stroller is based off of our Gazelle stroller that was launched in 2020. And basically, the e-Gazelle is a stroller that provides innovation and basically has a power assist mode that's incorporated into the stroller. If you think about it in today's world of e-bikes and e-scooters, it's similar technology where you have power either on demand or selectable that is rechargeable with a lithium-ion battery. Again, just trying to make the consumer experience with the product easier, and it's very adaptable.
All right, so with that in mind, it's been said good technology solves a problem. What's wrong with regular strollers? How do you make parents' lives easier?
Yeah, so the e-Gazelle, because it has so many different configurations, the e-Gazelle can actually go from a single to a double stroller. So really, depending on your lifestyle, it can really solve a lot of different problems. I'll give you a couple examples of that. First one being, if you live in an area with lots of hills, the e-Gazelle provides power to go uphill, but it also has power braking to go downhill and really does that with the breeze. You can also use the stroller to stroll on uneven surfaces. So say, for example, you're a consumer that likes to go for walks, in a park, on a nature trail. If you're using the stroller in snow potentially or even sand, it allows the stroller to operate much better and provides assistance in those environments as well. And then lastly, if you're using the stroller with 2 children, so in the case of using it as a double stroller, you could potentially be pushing around 80 to 100 pounds with this stroller. So consumers with 2 children may choose to use the power feature even on flat surfaces or using it all the time.
All right. So if I can unpack your answer here, the 2 main advantages to the e-Gazelle S stroller is that A, it's electric. So you push a small lever, if I remember correctly, and it assists you to push it. And that really is helpful when you've got a couple of kids, and I have twins, so I can relate, up a hill and on uneven surfaces, as you said, or in snow or sand and that kind of thing at the beach. And B is that it's modular. You hinted at multiple configurations, right? So you can add a basket, remove one. You can put in a car seat that's compatible. You can have a little like grocery area in the back that I saw yesterday, that kind of thing, right? So you can add more or remove parts over time to the same core device.
That's correct. Yeah, there's over 22 different configurations that you can create with a stroller. As you mentioned, you can use it with the stroller seat. You can use it with an infant car seat, which we would then call it a travel system.
Yeah.
And you can also use it with a bassinet. So because of the different configurations, it really has an option that can work for any lifestyle.
What's so cool is something called a rocking mode. That's something that normal stroller can't do.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is actually one of my favorite features, and we get a lot of positive feedback from consumers. The e-Gazelle has a feature called the rocking mode that basically you can set to 3 different intervals. You basically set the brake, you power it on, you hit a button, and it goes into this automatic rocking mode to basically help soothe your child. It'll run for 20 minutes and then it'll automatically turn off. And for anybody that's ever taken a stroller to, a coffee house or out to dinner and you're having to sit there and use your hand or your foot to rock the stroller, you're really going to appreciate that feature.
Now, look, I'm not a tall guy. Can I climb in there? Because that sounds like something I could take advantage of for a little nap.
There is a weight limit, but maybe you might fit.
Fair enough. And just going back to the way it works, John, before we move on. So it is a small lever that is near your right thumb, if that's fair, and it's under the handle. It's intuitively placed. You just press it.
Correct. It's selectable. So basically, it's very ergonomic. You use your thumb for going forward. You just press with your thumb, and then depending on how hard you press, that will affect the speed of the stroller. And then when you're going into a downhill mode or a braking mode, you use your index finger, and there's another lever, very ergonomic again, that you just press in reverse, and that operates as a brake.
Okay, and speaking of which, if any listeners are concerned that they think the stroller is just going to take off with their baby in it, that is not the case, because once your thumb is off the lever, it slows right down to a stop, right?
Absolutely. As soon as you take your thumb off, the power is no longer to the motor and it will stop.
Who would you say it's for exactly? And does it look like other baby strollers, John?
Absolutely. The e-Gazelle basically is the same as the Gazelle stroller. Looks the same, functions the same, folds the same. The only differences are you have the trigger assist at the top, and then you have a lithium-ion battery that's in the basket area. And then, everything's the same, and it only weighs 4 pounds more than the non-electric version. To your question of, who is it best suited for? As I mentioned earlier, because it has so many different configurations, it's difficult really to just pick one specific consumer because there are so many different options. I would say that it's best suited, again, for customers that live in areas with hills, customers that like to go a little bit off-road on nature trails and parks. And then lastly, again, as I mentioned, for consumers that have 2 children and they really just want help pushing, that 80 to 100 pounds around on flat ground. Absolutely don't forget that consumer that really just loves that rocking feature because it's so cool.
Indeed. More about the Gazelle S e-stroller from CYBEX when we return on Tech It Out. I'm your host, Mark Saltzman. If you want to reach out on social media to say hi, if you've got tech questions for me or suggestions for upcoming guests, you can hit me up on X, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. We'll be right back with more Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
We are chatting with Jon McGuire. He's Vice President of Product Management for CYBEX North America. That's CYBEX. This is the company behind the e-Gazelle S e-stroller, an electric stroller. Just like there's electric cars, there's also e-bikes and e-scooters. that assists you with transportation. Now you've got something for baby. And how do you charge it up? Is it like your phone where you just plug it into the wall?
Yeah, it comes with an included charger, just like any other electronic device. Plug it into the wall. It takes about 3.5 hours to get a full charge on the battery. If you're using the stroller a lot in power mode, you can purchase a additional battery as an accessory. The battery has a life range, and it's really based on the conditions of how you're using it, such as, hills, the terrain it's on, how much weight are you pushing in the stroller, and then again, how often are you actually using that feature. In a worst case scenario, it's got about a 5-mile range. In normal conditions, it's 12 miles plus. So it really, it can last for a long time.
Devil's advocate question. You're out for a walk with your baby and the battery dies because you forgot to charge it up for a while. Can you push it like a regular manual stroller?
Absolutely. If the battery dies, or if you just choose to not turn the power on, it operates exactly the same as the standard Gazelle stroller. No difference in how it pushes. And again, as I said, it functions, folds, rolls, everything's exactly the same.
Great. All right. So let's talk how much the e-Gazelle S costs and where can we learn more?
Yeah, so the e-Gazelle S is available in the United States with a retail of $10.99 and in Canada with a retail of $16.99. If you want to learn more about the product, you can go to CYBEX-online.com.
All right. Again, CYBEX-online.com. Do you have retail support?
We do. You can find the e-Gazelle across many retailers in the United States, such as Nordstrom's and a specialty store called Bambi Baby. In Canada, you can find it at West Coast Kids, as well as another specialty retailer called Snugglebugs.
Thank you so much, Jon. Great to chat with you, and congrats on the launch of the e-Gazelle S. I hope it does well for you. And again, I saw it for the first time yesterday, and I thought it was wonderful. My wife was with me. We had 3 kids in 2 years. It's one of those things where we're like, geez, we wish we had this when our kids were young. They're now in their 20s. Yeah. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Hey, not all storage solutions are created equal. Let me elaborate.
The new Sandisk Creator Series is a line of storage solutions designed specifically for content creators, the driving force behind the content that we consume online, from videos and blog posts to podcasts and social media updates. These external Sandisk SSDs and other flash-based products help to streamline the creative workflow from start to finish. There are 5 main features of the Sandisk Creator Series. Number 1, high speeds. Plug-and-play solutions that offer fast read and write speeds, ensuring smooth workflows and quick transfers of large files. Number 2, durability. These products are designed to withstand the rigors of on-the-go use, with features like drop protection and resistance to water and dust. Number 3, portability. This Sandisk series includes several portable SSDs and other flash drives, making it easy to take your storage with you wherever you go. Number 4, compatibility. These Sandisk products are designed to work with a range of devices, including smartphones, tablets, laptops, desktops, cameras, and more. And number 5, high capacity. There's no longer a trade-off between the durability of solid-state drives and capacity for those who need a lot of storage, as you can have it all, now with drives that can store several terabytes of data. More info is at sandisk.com/creator. That's sandisk.com/creator.
I also wanted to give a shout out one last time to both Norton and Visa, companies devoted to protecting you and your financial health in different ways. It's been awesome to partner with those companies as well as Sandisk on Tech It Out. Next week, we're going to have a bunch of new interviews on the program, so I've been queuing them up for you. I'm excited to share them. And of course, this time of year, now that we're getting into November, we are, of course, going to look at some gadget gift guides ahead of Black Friday and Cyber Monday later on in the month, right after Thanksgiving, heading into the holiday season. So there's going to be a lot of suggestions covering a wide range of prices and various needs. So we're going to look at everything from e-readers and tablets to smart home tech, laptops and desktops, gaming gear, smart TVs, mobile phones and accessories, audio equipment. So lots of stuff to get to. And again, if you have any questions for me, you can hit me up on social media. It's Mark Saltzman, Mark with the C, Saltzman with the Z. Or if you prefer old-fashioned email, you can head over to my website, marksaltzman.com, and send me an email from there. And be sure to let me know where you're tuning into Tech It Out from. I always get a kick out of that, whether you're listening on your favorite local talk radio station or you're tuning in online podcast form. I always love learning about that. recently I've heard from listeners as far as South Africa and Northern Alaska. The gentleman in South Africa tunes in via a Seattle radio station that streams it online, and in Northern Alaska it is his local talk radio station. Super cool. Anyhow, have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to chatting with you next time for another new episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.